there's always a little something extra at stake when these teams face off. It's the Chiefs going up against the Broncos. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are a couple miles west of the Colorado State Capitol building as we come to you from Sports Authority Field at Mile High here in downtown Denver. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Second down following the run. They run it again with Anderson. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a third down and 8. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
On second down, Anderson trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Well, that was better than the first go-around when he lost yardage, but still nothing there, and that sets up a 3rd and long. Tough spot here.
Put it mildly. Sometimes I wonder if some of that old-school football should come back into play. You know what I would think?
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. They'll be led by a former national champion at Alabama. It's A.J. McCarron.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Play clock winding down. On second down, here's McCarron. Throw left side complete. It's Shepard. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Let's go! Detroit! Detroit!
Working from the gun here, McCarron. Hard throw, incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Broncos take over, first down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And his throw is incomplete. Carlos Henderson, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they got a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
3rd down now. It's C.J. Anderson. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. That one taken in by Carlos Henderson. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They go play action here on first down. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
Full start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Dalton here from the gun. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20 at the 15. 23 yards on the play. That's a matchup maybe they go back to their outer third of the field as this game continues.
Yeah, I think back to my high school coach, John Ford, used to say when we got big plays early in a game or good plays, he'd always say, foul it away, lad, foul it away, because he'd want to come back to it later in a key situation. They may come back to this one a little more often than that.
Didn't he say laddie or did he say lad?
Yeah, just depending on what he was feeling at the moment.
Okay, I thought that was the guy you told me about. He used to say laddie a lot.
Laddie, when you heard laddie, he was usually in a pretty good mood. Lad,
Another chance for Dalton. That's complete right around the 8. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 2nd and goal. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but they lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage. Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
This will be taken about the 12. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And now here comes Kansas City. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
All right, here we go. Boo,
Now it's Hunt. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brandon, after last week we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. They run again with Hunt. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So they tried runs on 1st and goal and 2nd and goal, got stonewalled. Now from here, they've got to throw, right?
I would think so, and I would think you also maybe want to come up with something different in terms of formation. Maybe spread things out a little bit. Even though you're down near the goal line where things are tight, get it spread out a little bit and try and find some room to operate.
McCarron on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are in for 6. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it. And he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll run it now out of the gun. A strong running. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
Now McCarron. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make this a 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Anderson loses the football. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Finds Jake Butt over the middle. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Dalton, 1st and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's McKenzie. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Andy Dalton throwing the out route incomplete. It's Henderson, and he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. First and 10 for Dalton. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
2nd and goal. Defense digging in again here. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Dalton on 3rd and goal. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
McCarron, a final shot before the half. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. And no update from Larry this week, apparently. We'll try again in week 7. But for now, let's get back to the action, ready to kick off the second half. This is taken near the 13. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On third down, that's Hunt. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here. So for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd. Yeah, after that one.
Here in the third quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
On the run, this is Hunt. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
Let's go! 3-19!
A.J. McCarron looking to throw, and that is incomplete. The Chiefs on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Shotgun snap from McCarron. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. That was a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Following the penalty, Anderson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And now to the air, Dalton. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and just like that, it's third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, a ball may come your way.
The Broncos on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Dalton. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On the handoff, this is Walker. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Here's Dalton. Left side here to Sanders. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30. So now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's 1st and goal. They give it to Anderson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Second down, Dalton. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Third down from the gun, Dalton. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, throwing back across his body. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The drive begins with a handoff to West. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. So the offense has it 1st and 10. On the toss, there goes West. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Tried to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge, no place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
McCarron to throw on second down. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. Now a toss. This is West. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
To throw, McCarron. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you?
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Back there to that Philly. Here we go. All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Back there to that Philly. Here we go.
McCarron from the gun on third. And this is caught by Watkins. Touchdown, Kansas City. Sammy Watkins, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Here's Dalton. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
The Broncos on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 3. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They look to throw on third with Dalton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up the first down. Keep the sticks moving.
To throw is McCarron. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Shane Ray. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And the lead is up to 18 now. Here's Franks now to kick this one away. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Now Dalton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's McKenzie. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Out of the backfield, this is Devontae Booker. The 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Devontae Booker, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Broncos cut into that lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it, and we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on 2nd down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock. Time running out here on the play clock. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Here's West. And he stopped immediately there. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. The Chiefs on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
McCarron. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And Frank's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settled for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
Now it's Franks following the made field goal to send it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now, and they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive, but they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
He's going to let it fly. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
Go
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
This is West. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Fresh set of downs here. McCarron going to throw it here. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances, putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yep.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Charkandrick West, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Here's Franks now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said,
now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
It's second down. Dalton looking. He spots Henderson open left side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Despite only needing one, Dalton to throw. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. A first down throw coming for Dalton. Over the middle, complete. It's McKenzie. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. A second down carry for Booker. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game.